Welcome to In the Loop, the show where we uncover the stories behind the artists shaping music across Asia and beyond. I'm your host, Charlie, and today we're exploring the journey of an artist whose music turns emotion into something deeply intimate and unforgettable. This is the story of Elise Rowan. This is the story of Elise Rowan, an artist who transformed grief, criticism, and personal struggle into music that speaks with honesty and vulnerability. Before people knew her through her songs, Elise was simply someone trying to make sense of her emotions through creativity. Quiet but deeply expressive, she spent years writing lyrics in notebooks and recording melodies late at night, treating music less like a career and more like a safe place. For Elise, songwriting was never about perfection. It was about feeling understood, even if the only person listening at first was herself. But behind the music was a story shaped by loss, pressure, and the challenge of learning how to keep going when life suddenly changes.
For Elise, music had always been personal. Long before releasing songs or performing for others, she used writing as a way to process emotions she struggled to express aloud. But everything changed after the loss of her boyfriend. The grief left her emotionally drained, and the stress began affecting both her personal life and her creativity. Days felt heavier, and even sitting down to write music became difficult. At the same time, Elise faced criticism from people who believed her songs were too emotional or too vulnerable. The comments slowly chipped away at her confidence. Still, beneath the stress and self-doubt, one feeling remained constant. She needed to keep creating. Even during her darkest moments, music was the only place where her emotions felt honest and understood. Instead of stepping away from music completely, Elise made a decision she would turn her pain into something meaningful. She began writing more openly than ever before, pouring her grief, memories, and fears directly into her songs. Late nights became recording sessions. Journal entries became lyrics. Music slowly transformed into a form of healing. The process wasn't polished or easy. Some nights ended in frustration, while others brought moments of clarity she hadn't felt in months. But little by little, Elise started realizing that vulnerability wasn't weakness. It was what made her music real. And for the first time, she stopped trying to sound like anyone else. As Elise shared more of her music publicly, the challenges only grew stronger. Not everyone connected with her style. Some listeners criticized her songs for being too sad or too personal. Others questioned whether emotional honesty could really succeed in the music industry. The negative feedback began affecting her deeply. Every comment made her second-guess herself. Every comparison to other artists made her wonder if she was falling behind. There were moments when Elise considered giving up completely. At the same time, she was still carrying unresolved grief from losing someone she loved. Balancing emotional trauma while continuing to create became exhausting. But instead of changing herself to fit expectations, Elise slowly began focusing on the people who truly understood her music. Messages from listeners started appearing online, people sharing how her songs helped them through anxiety, heartbreak, or loneliness. For Elise, those connections reminded her why she started creating in the first place. Over time, Elise discovered something she hadn't expected. The emotions she once tried to hide were the very thing bringing people closer to her music. Listeners weren't connecting to perfection, they were connecting to honesty. That realization changed the way Elise saw herself as an artist. Instead of chasing approval, she began embracing authenticity. Her songs became more fearless, more personal, and more confident. And somewhere along the way, music stopped feeling like an escape from pain. It became a way to heal through it. But growth came with sacrifices. To keep creating honest music, Elise had to revisit painful memories over and over again. Every performance, every lyric, and every recording session forced her to relive emotions she was still learning how to process. There were nights when the stress felt overwhelming, moments when the pressure of criticism and emotional exhaustion made continuing feel impossible. She sacrificed comfort for honesty. She sacrificed emotional safety for connection. But through that process, Elise learned that healing doesn't mean forgetting pain. Sometimes it means learning how to carry it without letting it define you. And slowly, the struggles that once nearly silenced her started becoming the foundation of her artistry. There were nights when the stress felt overwhelming, moments when the pressure of criticism and emotional exhaustion made continuing feel impossible. Today, Elise Rowan returns to music with a completely different perspective. She no longer creates to prove herself to critics or chase perfection. Instead, she creates to connect with herself and with the people listening to her songs. The artist who once doubted her own voice now performs with confidence and clarity. Her experiences, both painful and personal, have become part of what makes her music resonate so deeply with others. And although the challenges never fully disappeared, Elise learned how to move forward without hiding who she truly is. Elise Rowan's journey is a reminder that artists are shaped not only by talent, but by what they survive. Through grief, emotional struggle, and criticism, she discovered strength in vulnerability and purpose in creativity. The experiences that once threatened to silence her ultimately helped define her voice. Because sometimes the most meaningful art comes from telling the truth about pain and finding the courage to keep creating anyway. Elise Rowan's story is more than a journey through music. It's a story about resilience. Through heartbreak, criticism, and emotional struggle, she learned how to turn pain into something meaningful. Instead of letting those experiences silence her, she used them to create music that connects with people on a deeper level. Her journey reminds us that growth doesn't come from avoiding difficult moments. It comes from facing them, learning from them, and continuing forward anyway. And for Elise, every challenge became part of the artist she is today. I'm Charlie, and this has been In the Loop.
Oh, we don't talk like we